I think there are a lot of misunderstandings within the church and certainly outside of the church about what happened to Parley in 1857. At that time, we were nearing the approach of the Utah War. The polygamy issue was a huge national issue. The Army and the President of the United States, as the Commander-in-Chief, were viewing the Saints' rebellion against the leadership, or the federal officers who had been sent to Utah, as really a true rebellion. And so that the tension was growing, which became the Utah War. Parley was sent on his last mission by Brigham Young. Parley hoped that he would now be allowed to stay home with his family, even as he traveled across the plains on his way east to fulfill that mission to the eastern states. He wrote home about how sorrowful he was that he could not stay home. But accepting his role as a minister of the gospel, he took that mission, accepted that mission, and went to the East Coast. There are a number of accounts that suggest that Parley had premonitions about his death. One is that he took the manuscript of his autobiography with him, but he gave it to John Taylor in New York. And before he left on his mission, he made his son, Parley Jr., take a covenant that he would print the autobiography if Parley was not able to do it. When John Taylor saw Parley for the last time on the East Coast, he felt that he was seeing him for the last time. Two other missionaries who went east with him also said things about Parley having premonitions that this would be his last mission. One of them not understanding that it meant it would be his last mission to mortality. Parley would not have died in Arkansas if the U.S. Army had not gone after him with trumped up charges which made absolutely no legal sense, and dragged him in chains back to Van Buren to stand trial before an angry mob. There were a few friends there. The judge acquitted him and released him in the middle of the night, hoping he could escape, and warned him that there were those that would take his life. But Hector McLean, hearing that Parley had left, followed him on horseback with others, and shot at him 6 times, stabbed him twice, apparently once cutting into his heart. As Parley lay bleeding, Hector McLean returned and shot him through the neck with a revolver to make certain that Parley would die. Others in the area saw what had happened and came to Parley's aid, gave him water to drink, and took care of him in the last hour or two before his death. They allowed him to hold a funeral to be held for him. They allowed him to be buried in a family plot. This was the Wynn family. They allowed him to be buried as a Latter-day Saint would desire to be buried and dressed for his burial. We don't know all the facts surrounding his death, but there are myths which have come into existence which tie Parley's death not to his mission and not to his faithfulness and not to his testimony of Jesus Christ, but to other circumstances. Parley was doing what he should. He was on the Lord's errand, and the Lord stepped aside because Parley would then enter the spirit world and become a minister of the gospel there with his mentor and teacher and prophet leader, Joseph Smith.